If you trace your ancestry to slavery and the slave trade, you don't necessarily know exactly where you're coming from. The vast majority of people who trace their ancestry to slavery aren't African in their ancestry, really. They're West Central African. And the vast are very much Central Africans because the vast majority of slaves came from this area here, which is completely different than the rest of Africa. I mean, you're not East African, you're not North African, you're not South African. It's just completely different.
Historically, slavery is something that people inflict on others, right? You don't, generally speaking, enslave people like yourself. Now, how those borders are drawn may change. So if you go back to ancient Athens, for example, it would have been rare for an Athenian to enslave another Athenian, but he would have had no qualms about enslaving a Spartan or a Corinthian or whatever. There's a kind of notion that you'll hear a lot of people say that, Africans enslaved their own people. And in fact, they didn't. In our imagination today, this is one place inhabited by one race of people. But that wouldn't have made much sense to people at the time. That Africa was and is a dizzyingly diverse continent with literally thousands of distinct ethnic and linguistic groups. And so there's conflict and, and contestation between those groups. And that conflict grows dramatically in the course of the centuries of the slave trade.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.